Yesterday, I explained why the 49ers should draft Florida cornerback CJ Henderson with the 13th pick. Now I'm going to tell you why they should take Baylor wide receiver Denzel Mims with the 31st pick. 5 reasons. One, Mims is exactly the kind of wide receiver the 49ers don't have. They have a bunch of little guys or specialists. They have deep threats, Marquise Goodwin and Travis Benjamin. They got gadget receivers, Debo Samuel. They got slot receivers, Trent Taylor, Jalen Hurd. They got possession receivers, Kendrick Bourne. They don't have a big, fast number one receiver. They're hard to find, but Kyle Shanahan had one in Houston in Andre Johnson, and he had one in Atlanta in Julio Jones. It's the kind of wide receiver everyone's looking for, and it's the kind of wide receiver Shanahan has built his offenses around in the past when his offenses were record-setting, number one ranking in the league. Hard to find him. Denzel Mims just might be that kind of guy. He's 6'3". He runs a 4.3, and he ran a 6.66 three-cone drill. Very big, very fast, very quick. Has the potential to be a bona fide number one receiver who's big and fast. Two, his skills, his strengths complement Jimmy Garoppolo's strengths. When thinking about the wide receiver the Niners need, you're thinking about what helps Jimmy Garoppolo. Well, what does Jimmy do best? He throws that 12 to 15-yard pass over the middle to a wide receiver running side to side, running that deep in route. Jimmy throws it with courage, anticipation, accuracy. Sometimes he's a little high with the throw. It's just a very high-risk throw because if you're a little late, if you're a little behind, you're a little high, the ball gets tipped, it's intercepted. Debo Samuel does a lot of good stuff, but he's 5'11" with short arms, and he drops a lot of passes. So throwing that pass to Debo in particular is extremely dangerous. A nice compliment for Debo and a nice compliment for Jimmy would be a big 6'3", physical, fearless wide receiver who runs across the middle like Terrell Owens, jumps 40 inches into the air and snatches some of the most errant passes you've ever seen because they happen. Well, that's Denzel Mims. Big, fast, and when he leaps to catch a ball over the middle, he looks like T.O. He looks like Julio Jones. He runs a beautiful dig route, and if you don't believe me, go on YouTube and check out his highlights from the Senior Bowl, the one-on-one drill. He looked fantastic, and he could beat man-to-man coverage. Nothing would help Jimmy Garoppolo more than a wide receiver who could run that dig route consistently and catch any kind of pass over the middle. That's what Pierre Garçon was for the 49ers a couple of years ago, and that's what Julio Jones did for Kyle Shanahan back in Atlanta. 3, he's a good blocker. 49ers are still a run-first team, and this kid, Mims, really, really likes to block. He's good at it. I mean, think about him as the lead blocker for Debo Samuel on the end around. Debo averaged 17 yards per carry on that play last year with Emmanuel Sanders, all 180 pounds of him blocking for him. And now imagine 270-pound Denzel Mims out front. 4, he's actually underrated. If you look at his scouting reports, Mims, what people say a lot is that he drops passes, even though he has 34-inch arms and big hands. Well, I don't know how many people actually know, but he played through a broken hand in 2018. So, yeah, he dropped some passes. What's impressive is that he played through a broken hand in 2018. Tough guy, likes to play football, clearly isn't bothered by serious injuries, isn't going to sit out. That's a good thing. Then look at what he did in 2019. He was fantastic, didn't drop too many passes. What you saw in 2019 is a much closer approximation of what he's going to be in the NFL than what he was doing in 2018 with a broken hand. Finally, he played well at the Senior Bowl. That's where Kyle Shanahan coached last year, and that's where he identified Debo Samuel as a perfect fit for his offense. A lot of times you can't really evaluate wide receivers in a game in college because they don't face much man-to-man coverage. It's a lot of zone coverage. But at the Senior Bowl, they do man-to-man, one-on-one drills daily like they do in the NFL. And you can see instantly who can beat man-to-man coverage and who can't. If Trent Baalke had been able to see AJ Jenkins in that drill. I don't believe Jenkins was in the Senior Bowl. I think he was in the Shrine game. If Balky could have seen Jenkins in this one-on-one drill, he would have not drafted him, because it was clear in the first days of training camp that AJ Jenkins couldn't beat one-on-one man-to-man coverage. Denzel Mims can. He proved it at the Senior Bowl. He's underrated. He should be there at 31, and the Niners should take him.